It's Funnel Friday. Let's do it. All right, so last week we talked about warm traffic versus cold traffic. This week I want to break it down even further than that. I want to introduce you to the idea of Tofu, MOFU, and BOFU. What does that mean? It's really just a way for us geeky people to feel like we're saying cooler things than we really are. It stands for top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. And the reason we categorize them this way is because we really are going to create different types of content, and we have different goals for where somebody is in those steps of the funnel. Okay, so let's start with Tofu, top of funnel. So top of funnel is going to be your stuff that says, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is who I do it for. This is why I do it, right? This is the stuff that's turning cold people into warm people, right? They just need to get to know you at this point. Now, one other thing that I would put in this top of funnel category is what we call lead magnets. If you're not familiar with a lead magnet, it's you've seen them, I promise. It's essentially something of value that you can give to a website visitor in return for their contact information, typically an email address, right? So again, you've seen these. These are the checklists that you get, or, drop your email address here and I'll send you this cheat sheet or something like that, right? That's a lead magnet. So I would absolutely put that in the idea of top of funnel content, because really that's like the mechanism for getting them to move further down your funnel, right? Okay, so that's Tofu. MOFU, what's the whole point of middle of funnel? Middle of funnel is for those people who have at least tentatively said, hey, you know what? I think I'm interested in hearing more about you. So they're not saying like, hey, shut up and take my money yet, right? They're just saying, this looks compelling. Tell me more, right? Proceed. That's basically them. Okay, so what do we want to put in front of that person? So we want to put, for middle of funnel, I really like to think that I want them to do one of two things, all right? So they've opted into my mailing list, and I'm sending them emails. The stuff that I'm sending them at this point needs to do one of two things. It needs to get them to either move down the funnel to a warmer lead, to where they're actually going to be a lead, right? Or it needs to get them to unsubscribe, okay? I want them to either move down the funnel and become a lead, or to leave, right? And this is not anything mean. It's because it's a waste of their time, it's a waste of my time, and it's a waste of my money to pay to have somebody on my mailing list who's lukewarm. I don't want lukewarm people on my mailing list. I want people who are either, not either. I want them to choose. I want them to say yes or no, not maybe, right? We don't want maybe here. So middle of funnel is what I kind of consider like the sifter. This is where we're going to put content out there that makes it really clear who it is that you do serve and who it is that you do not serve. The right type of person for you and the wrong type of person for you, okay? So this is where we really want to talk about like creating these pieces of content that are intentionally divisive. Now, I'm not saying like be a jerk, but be very clear about who the right kind of client is for your business. Again, this is nothing mean. There are plenty of other photographers out there for someone to choose other than you. And you don't want to work with people who are not right for you, okay? So this middle of funnel is where we're putting that stuff out there. We're saying, hey, you know what? If you're into this, great, let's continue. If you're not into this, no problem. There's the door, right? Okay, so that's middle of funnel. Now, what that allows us to do is when we get down to BOFU, the bottom of the funnel, right? When we get down there, all the people who are not a good fit, they've left. They're gone. So that leaves us with the cream of the crop, right? Leaves us with the people who are, they're sold. They're all in. These are the people who, when you send out that email that says, hey, I'm opening, on Friday, I'm opening my my summer session schedule at noon. So check your email at noon, right? These are the people who are refreshing at like 11:59, waiting and waiting and waiting for the email to come in. These are your shut up and take my money people, right? Because you've already filtered out everyone else, and you've had all of this opportunity to not just establish know, like, and trust. You've established what it is that you do, like the products that people buy from you, the process that you're going to use to get those products in their hands, and the prices that they're going to pay for those products. So these are very well qualified leads. And that's the person we want to put the offer in front of, right? Can you see how when I put an offer in front of that person, it's going to be much more effective than what we talked about last week, where you're just boosting that post, like, hey, book a mini, to like people who have never heard of you, people at the top of funnel, right? Can you see how much more effective it is to send that type of content to only those qualified leads, right? You get very, very qualified people. You get to work with people that you really enjoy working with. And it's just a lot less stress. All right. So that is Tofu, MOFU, and BOFU. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. So next week we are going to talk about, let's see. I know what we need to talk about. We need to talk about how you make sure that you're tracking people as they go through this process, because without any sort of data, we're just guessing. So next week, we're going to talk about how you can actually make sure that you're capturing this data to know where people are falling off and where the weak spots are. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about next week. See you. Hey, so if you're into this kind of content and you want to continue learning from me to grow your business, obviously you can just continue watching or listening where you are right now. But I would encourage you to go join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group, you can find it at swiftgalleries.com/Facebook, but we do this type of stuff all the time in there, really with the intent of helping you grow your business. Now, if you're paying attention, I just gave you an opportunity to move from the top of my funnel